You keep flying in the sky, daydreaming about everything. And one day, you wake up as 25 years old, somebody cut your wings, you fell down in the ground, and you realize that life is different. Frontal lobe development fixed my life. And I'm not even joking. I remember in my early 20s, like till I was 25, I daydreamed a lot. I daydreamed that one day maybe I'm going to do everything, but that is going to be for one day, not for now. I just keep pushing things until the last minute, and all because I thought I had time. For example, I had a great business idea, and what I did, I just went out with my friends because I thought that, oh my god, I have so many time to do everything in life. And I just keep pushing everything until the last minute. When I say last minute, I'm saying that for everything, I was just the kind of person that just keep pushing things until the last minute. You know what I'm saying? And this is what front development did to me. It just wake me up. When I was young, like especially in my early 20s, like 20, 21, 22, I daydreamed for everything in my life. I daydreamed that one day maybe I'm going to win a Grammy Awards. Maybe one day I'm going to be that, or maybe one day I'm going to be a millionaire and everything. And you keep flying in the sky, daydreaming about everything. And one day you wake up as 25 years old, somebody cut your wings, you fell down in the ground, and you realize that life is different. Life is not about daydreaming, life is real. You need to get the out of here and work your off. Because when you're young, you just think that life is very long. Like life is so long. I mean, 20s are so long, 30s are very long, teens are very long. But as we are seeing, for example, from 2020 till 2025, there are 5 years. And when you wake up as 25-year-old, you realize that you have 5 years left until you're going to be 30, and it's kind of going to, you know what I'm saying. Waking up as a 25 years old is really different from waking up as 24, for example. I remember like 3 months before becoming 25 years old, it just started to hit me. It started to hit me that, man, you're getting old. You need to stop that, whatever you are thinking that one day is going to happen, because it's not if you're not going to work for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to work for it. Nobody's going to bring it to you. Or if it's going to happen out of nowhere. No, you need to work. And as a young man or as a young person, you just don't think about that. You think that, oh my god, one day is going to happen. Enjoy the life right now. But that is not how life works. And this is what front development did to me. As soon as I hit 25, because right now I'm 27. So once I hit 25, I start keeping rushing things. Like, oh my god, I need to fix my body as soon as possible. I have 5 years. I checked in the internet how long it takes for you to have a good or a perfect body, perfect. And they say that maybe 2 years you need to have a great body. And I realized, oh my god, I have 25, I will be 27, 28. Oh my god, how that is going to work. I need to find a good wife. I have this years, I have this years, I have this. So you just keep rushing things, because once you're 30, if you don't have some things in order, life is going to start to suck. And that's what I did. I turned 25 years old. I sit in my room and I said, listen, you have 5 years to fix your life, or going to end up as a loser. Because when I was 21, 22, I kept searching at the CEOs and everything, and just look, for example, Jeff Bezos has created his company when he was 30, and I said, oh my god, I have time. when I be 30, maybe I'm going to create a company. But you need to understand that when Jeff Bezos created in his 30s, he had the knowledge before that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. You can't just create a business out of nowhere. Jeff Bezos created his business in his 30s because he had the knowledge. He learned about stuff when he was 29, 28, 27. You know what I'm saying? So he just gathered that knowledge and created a company when he was 30. And I just realized that if you want to create a company, because, for example, I had before a great idea for an app. And what I did, I just went out to drink coffee with my friends because I thought I had this great idea. I'm going to let somewhere rest, and maybe when I will be 30, I will start, creating this app, having this. And when you are 25, when your front lobe develops, you start to think that does not work like this, If you have that idea, if you don't have the ability to create that app, at least start learning how to create that app. If you want to learn programming, start learning. But if you don't, at least start searching for people that could help you. Because when you're 30, you have that idea, you just can't go do everything in 1 year or in 2 years or in 3 years, because you're going to be 34, 35. Then a lot of other things comes in life that maybe just you keep pushing that thing, and one day you're going to be dead. You know what I'm saying? A crazy thing that front lobe development did to me was that when I was young, I had ideas about, for example, crazy ideas that has to do with LA, moving in LA and doing that and doing that and doing that. And for example, I live in a very small town. I love this town and I want to live here, but my ideas were for somewhere else, I'm living right now right here, but maybe one day I'm going to go to New York or there and start that idea. And when you're getting older, you start to realize that you need to have ideas based on the place you live. You know what I'm saying? If you have idea for New York, move to New York. But don't have ideas about New York living in a small town, because you're going to destroy yourself. That's daydreaming. That's just, I don't know, just losing time, because that's what I did. I had crazy ideas, for example, that has to do with New York, creating a business within New York, and I was living in a small town. If you have that idea, at least move to New York and, start working on it. But when you're young, at least I'm talking for me, you just keep pushing things. I'm going to do when I reach 25 or 28 or 30, and you just don't realize how fast the years are moving. And that is just scary. And that's what I did. So when my front lobe developed, I started thinking about ideas that has to do with, this town or the cities nearby. And these ideas are irreachable for me. I don't have any more ideas that are crazy. Why? Because I know within me that I don't have the capacity for that. I'm going to be honest. If you live in the city, or if you live in that town and you want to live in that town and you don't want to move out of that town, start having ideas or start working on your mind or in everything that has to do with that area, because that's how you're going to grow. You can't grow living in a small town and having ideas for a big city, because that's not how life works. If you have idea for the big city, move. But I didn't. I just say that maybe when I will be 28, I'm going to move and start within 1 month. Man, that's not how life works. Another crazy thing that I kept focusing on too many things. I was focusing on university, I was focusing on another business, that, and you don't realize that you lose too much energy if you keep focusing on too much things. You need to focus on one. And when you are 28, 27 as me, or 26, you start taking life really seriously. you start focusing, oh man, this is what is going to work. I don't want to move to New York. I don't want to move to LA. I don't want to move nowhere. I want to live in this city. And you just don't like those ideas anymore because you want to live here and start working on the ideas that has to do with this town or this city. And since I start doing that, because right now I have a really good business that I'm keeping my family, I I go in vacation, I go there, and all this because I keep working on my business in this town. Because that idea worked. Why? Because I had the environment around me to work. You know what I'm saying? I know the people in this town. I know the people around this town. I know that. I just know everything about this part of the city. And that's how, life works. If I would have gone to New York 1 year before, it would have taken me maybe 2 years or 3 years just to know the environment around me, then start creating the business. So there are a lot of people that are smart, start their life when they are 19s and everything, but not everyone is like that. I wasn't. For me right now, as a 27 years old, I realize a lot that has to do with life. I realize that maybe all you need is a peace within you. You know, right now I just don't want to be like crazy rich or everything because right now my incomes are really good. Are really good. Like I have a home, I have everything around me. And it's not because maybe some of you are going to say that maybe you're just accepting this life. It's not that I'm accepting, I'm working on this life. Who knows, maybe one day I'm going to grow bigger. But one thing that front lobe did to me was it stopped daydreaming, and that fixed my life. Front lobe fixed my life because it stopped daydreaming. Another thing that really hit me is that you need to create a personality. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're a grown person. And if you say one thing, for example, I'm going to do that work, and if you don't do that work, people start seeing you differently. For example, if a 20 years old said I'm going to do a work and he just didn't do that, it's different from a 28 years old. When a 20 years old say that I'm going to do that work and he doesn't, you see that person different, you know? So you need to start work on yourself. You need to realize that now you're a grown person. Now you have responsibility. You need to realize that you have a great personality that you need to, protect and everything, because that's how life works. And I just want to say that I'm loving this life. When I think back in my 20, my life was kind of chaos, you know what I'm saying? Because all day I worked as a 25 years old. I'm going to be honest, I work in a company. I was working from home remote. So when you're home, all you do, you say just one day I'm going to move there, create that, or maybe I'm going to do that, or maybe that. But now, because I have a lot of responsibility, I have a lot of things, you just start, my goals, are achievable. I create, for example, a goal that requires 6 months. I work on that goal and I achieve. And I really love this thing because before I had goals that I just couldn't achieve. And you have one goal, two, three, four that you just can't achieve. You can't, and you start getting depressed and things like that. But when you live in a town, in a city, or even if you live in New York, you need to know your capacity. And that's what front lobe does to you. Because once you reach 25, 26, 27, you just start to know your capacity, what you're able to do. And that's what I love about it. Because now I know my capacity. Right now, for example, for next year, I want my business to grow into other cities. And that's an easy goal for me because I know the people around that city. I've created contacts, I've created that. And of course, it asks for a lot of works, but it is achievable. It's not like, for example, one day maybe I'm going to win an Oscar in Los Angeles and have that goal is, it can be achievable, but let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? So in 3 years, I will be 30. And I remember like yesterday I was 20. That's how fast life is moving. And you need to start working in a lot of things before you reach 30. Because once you reach 30, you need to have something in your CV. You need to have your incomes, your everything if you want to be a good person. Because life is wild out there and it's crazy. So I have a lot of goals before I will be 30. But the goals right now from goals when I was 20 are completely differently, like 100%. My goals now are all achievable, and that's what I love about them. Because since I became 25 years old, all the goals that I had, I achieved. Why? Because they were achievable. Maybe they were small, but at least they were achievable. And when you achieve a goal, the enjoyable that you have inside your body, it's, you just can't describe it. Because after a small goal, you make a bigger one, a bigger. But at least you have, you know, a CV behind you that I have achieved that. Now I'm going to go for greater goals. But you just can't go without having nothing to a greater goal because that can't happen. Maybe it can to someone, but not everyone. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that front develop is a real thing. And thank God that it is. Because it changed my life for good. It saved me from a lot of things. It saved me from daydreaming. It saved me from, having goals that I never can achieve. It made me focus on things that are achievable, things that I can do, things that, and I'm enjoying life. That is the most important thing. I'm enjoying life. Peace out.